Let me see here. Assassin, you see anything?
I'm still trying to do the YouTube up.
Oh, yep.
Battlefront.
Yep. We are officially live with another episode of the 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 156 for November 16, 2017. We have the full crew here tonight. It's really the crew. It's really only half of one of the members, the better half. Am I right, Reezy? What's going on, bud? Good to have you.
Getting it. Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited. This is the first time I've done this, and I've been witnessing it for a couple year?
Yeah,
now?
a year and a bit. Yeah, a year and a bit. So for people that don't know, Reezy is the can I say it on stream?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited.
Fiance of Taylor now. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Happened in the backseat of my dad's truck. It was the most romantic scene I've ever been.
Sounds absolutely
I dreamed of it.
Another word.
Exactly.
Reezy's boss.
Exactly
how I wanted it to go down.
Well, yeah. So check out Reezy's stuff below his face there. You know, he's pretty active on Mixer, more active than on Twitter. I don't see you really post on Twitter that much.
Yeah, it's gonna be changing here pretty soon. We got a lot of plans starting in February when Taylor and I actually get hooked up in our own place.
Nice. You gonna be streaming more then?
Yeah, streaming. We'll have enough room for a podcast setup. As you can tell right now, I actually have no room to do my own thing, nor do I have a purple couch, which is what my whole part. It's gonna be the whole segment, man.
Nice.
That's what I need.
So yeah, check out Reezy's channel. Follow him on Mixer. He'd really appreciate that. And nothing short of entertaining this man over the years, or over the year and a half that I've known him. So. Glad to finally have you on. Taylor was not feeling the Battlefront talk rather, and Reezy's a big Battlefront person, so we will
indeed
we'll get into that, of course. Also, of course, making his 156th straight appearance, the big guy himself, ZPCI Assassin. What's going on? You're glitching big time.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Discord, but everything's like freezing.
Oh my god, you sound sick.
You're cutting out. You sound like a robot. You sound like your cat's like all over your mic.
He sounds like he's dying.
Well, I hope he's not dying.
Well, I am sick.
Oh, well,
it's like Darth Vader.
Now he's clear, but he sounds sick. Yeah, he could be Darth Vader's voice actor double, I think.
Yep, his name.
Say I am your father, Inferno.
Well, I'm not going to say the last part, but I am your father.
There we go. Good work. Last but not least, we have Italian Clowns. What's going on, bud? Clowns, you there?
Yep.
You gotta speak loudly because Discord will cut out if you don't speak loudly enough. So make sure you guys speak plenty loud because it has like a silence detection.
What's going on, everybody?
There you go. Very good. Very good.
There he is.
All right, well, we have a loaded show, so we're going to get right into it. But before we do, I want to make a couple announcements. One, as always, it's holiday shopping season. Check down the description for links to our affiliates where you make just regular purchases through those links, and we'll get a little bit of a kickback. So just go through those, make the purchases on those sites, and you won't pay anything more, but we'll get a little bit of what you paid as a thank you from our affiliates. So thank you to them for giving us that opportunity. Also, in the description later on, I forgot to put it, but in the description later on, and I'll tweet it out on Twitter again, we were nominated for Best Podcast of 2017 from the Inner Circle Gaming Network, which is a pretty big network. They had one of the first community interviews of Phil Spencer, and they've had some pretty big personalities on. So really, really happy to be nominated along with Short Pause Gaming and of course the Iron Lords podcast. Much respect to those guys. So you want to go vote for us, of course, so we win that award. We'll have the link in the description and on Twitter a little later. All right, well, I can't hold off on this. I was going to make Assassins suffer and wait until kind of near the end to discuss this Battlefront stuff. But, we got Reezy tonight. That was the plan if Taylor was on, because I know Taylor hates Battlefront, but Star Wars in general, not really a huge fan. But now we've got Reezy on. We want to get some thoughts on this thing. And I posted the Metascore here. It's looking like it's around 75, mid-70s. Depends on which platform you're looking at. So I'm actually not going to let Assassin go first. I'm going to let Reezy, the guest, go first.
Thank you.
So please tell us your thoughts. I know you've played a decent amount, so why don't you tell us, how much you've played and what you think pretty generally about the game.
Sure. I haven't actually ventured onto all of the game modes yet. I've pretty much only been playing Galactic Assault. Fantastic game mode. They took Walker Assault and all of their other fun game modes, like I don't remember what they named, Domination pretty much in the last game, but combined it all into one much longer game mode. I mean, those games average like at least anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes, depending on if it's really equal, which surprisingly it is. I really like that so far, that a lot of the gameplay seems to be very even. I know that there's a whole lot of controversy with the whole buy to play, which I think we were getting to later, but or play to win or pay to win or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the campaign, another controversial thing, it blew me out of the water. Not nearly the same campaign as the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I love. I have it on the PC and I'm on the original Xbox as a platinum hit, so I can play it on my 360 whenever. But even still, just following that storyline, seeing how everything gets set up for the new movie coming out, I mean, I think they did a tremendous job on this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of controversy. We'll get into the multiplayer stuff later, but there's quite a bit of controversy on the single player, and honestly, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I know there's some sections that can be repetitive, and I'm sure we'll get into that in a second, but before we get too much further into that, I do want to get Assassin's take on it, because I know Assassin's been playing the metaphorical shit out of this game pretty much every second he's been living. So what do you think, Assassin, of the game? Do you agree with what Reezy said so far? And I don't know. Has it lived up to your expectations? Maybe.
Yes, it's lived up to my expectations. The campaign, just to start with that, I thought it was alright. It wasn't like the best thing ever. It felt a little fun than anything. Kind of like Call of Duty campaign. I mean, I still enjoyed what I played of it. Of course I finished it, but it's not like Game of the Year story worthy. It's just there. Like, then the multiplayer, fantastic. Played all the modes, specifically of Starfighter and Galactic Assault. Just amazing. The sound is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Kashyyyk at nighttime is just breathtaking with all the explosions and the lighting. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, the game is gorgeous. I mean, upon first look, you can just immediately tell it's one of the best looking games on the console. I know people will, and I know I can already tell Clowns is going to talk about this because he's talked about it in DM, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but people will, make remarks about the cutscenes and, the single player not looking too great, but I think the multiplayer looks fantastic. I think the arcade mode stuff looks really, really good. It's just if you have an Xbox One X, it just looks even better. I mean, I played it on my S too, just to check out the differences, and I still think it looks pretty damn good. Like, the X obviously looks incredible. It's probably one of the best games I've ever seen graphically, but on the S, I still think it holds its own. I still think there's a good amount of value playing on that thing, But Reezy, you guys have an S, right? Or you have an OG as well, right?
Yeah, I have the original Xbox One and a 1S. I haven't taken the adventure towards the S yet, as far as playing it on that, but I definitely plan on getting an X, and of course all of the games that I have on it. That Star Wars. I mean, I saw gameplay of another game, Titanfall 2, and just seeing the visuals on that and how much different it can make as far as the even the campaign's visuals go. It's a tremendous improvement. So I think that it's going to look really nice on the Xbox X.
Absolutely. And I know I told Assassin, because Assassin held out and didn't play the EA Access trial, and I was playing it, and I was literally on party chat grinning, like you can hear in my voice. I'm grinning ear to ear, and I'm saying, dude, this thing looks incredible on the X. Incredible. So when you get your X, you will I know you guys, are being responsible, getting married and all that, moving out, all that good stuff. So who knows how long it'll be till you get next. But when you do, I promise you will be extremely impressed. I know Assassin essentially popped a tent in his pants and may have wet himself a little bit when he saw it. Am I right, Assassin?
Neither confirmed nor denied.
Nor denied.
Absolutely. All right, clowns. I'm ready for your opinions. We're all ready, and I know you're not so positive on this as the other two guys.
I mean, I'm not hating on it either, I mean, I just think it's mediocre to me. I like the first one better. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the first one actually had homing rockets that I could use. Nice. And I haven't played this one enough to find out if there's homing rockets in it. I am disappointed that EA is going back on their original game design because all this backlash against their loot crates. I thought it was cool to have to buy stuff and make it high price. And even Assassin was fine with 60,000 credit heroes. He didn't care about it. Why couldn't they keep it at 60,000? No, they got to lower it to 10,000 because everybody complained the reviewers got it for 10,000. I mean, come on, EA, get a pair of balls or something.
Well, it's gonna. I guess, clowns. Before you continue, I just want to throw this little update out there because Assassin sent it to me just a little while ago. Assassin, I guess they're going back a little bit potentially on some of their microtransactions already.
So crystals are completely gone from the game. You cannot buy them in the game. They're still on the Xbox store, but apparently they're gone from PlayStation and Amazon completely.
Well, Bravo Intel said that they're not sure if they're actually being removed or they're updating stuff.
Well, yeah, they're not 100% sure, but right now, I just looked it up. It's gone. So as far as we know,
I'm going to send a lot of angry faxes to them if they remove it.
How many signatures you got in that shit, clowns? That little change.org petition you had going.
I think because Daz helped me out. High five, Daz. You're my buddy. I think we got about 3 signatures.
There you go.
Even Crap Gamer noticed it, and he talked about it.
Nice. Yeah, and honestly, if you have a great gameplay experience, I think the multiplayer is just incredible. I think it's a lot of fun. I think overall, if you just base it on skill, it's pretty balanced, more balanced than the beta for sure. And of course, it sucks that we'll get into the microtransactions in a second. It sucks that microtransactions have to ruin equal skill battles. I think that's the big deal when it comes to this. Huh?
Inferno, it sucks that they're lowering the transactions. They should raise it. Why 60,000 credits? Why not 120,000 credits?
I agreed. I agree completely.
Guys like Assassin and Reed who are going to put the time into this game to actually earn the characters instead of casuals like me who don't deserve them.
All right, fair point. Assassin, I know you're totally against that.
Yeah, I'm totally against it. Why should heroes be so expensive that not everyone can play them? They're fun to use. They're not some, tiny little wimpy thing with a lightsaber. You can go ham or you can, totally fuck up, but it's so much fun to play them.
Yeah, the thing is that it went from being such a special thing, with such power. You got the heroes of Battlefront 1. You had so much power. Even in this one, I think there's a lot of power. I don't think it's as much, obviously. A lot of the Jedis don't have, blocking maneuvers, which I don't really like. But nonetheless, I think, by lowering the credits, it kind of, makes them more common, so common that, you don't feel that added power as much because so many other people can have them. I mean, how many heroes can you have on the battlefield at once?
You have one of each.
Yeah, you can have one of everybody, so... It's kind of okay, well, what are we playing? Heroes versus villains? Or are we playing, Galactic Assault? You know what I mean? That's the only problem I have with it. But then again, the other side of the coin is that, you don't have to rush for this hero coin and be lucky enough to be near one. You can use your progress in the game to actually buy them and use them in a fairly regular basis, I don't know. So 75 Metascore. I think that's a little low. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? 75. I mean, 75 is not bad by any stretch, but I think that's low.
It's if this wasn't Star Wars, right? If this wasn't Star Wars and this was like an average, everyday, just generic characters like Lawbreakers, it would probably be a 70.
Okay. Well, but
so
this is way better than Lawbreakers. I mean, come on.
The boost in it is just because of Star Wars characters. I mean, would it get as high a rating if it's My Little Pony? If not, then it's just because of Star Wars.
Last time I checked, My Little Pony doesn't have guns.
You never know. I mean, they could evolve a little
bit. Oh man! All right, Reese, you're Assassin. You think this score that it's gotten so far from critics is accurate? I mean, I know you guys are really liking the game, so I'm expecting you to say no, but I don't know what to expect anymore. So, what do you guys think?
Me personally, I think it's an appropriate score, and the only reason why is just simply due to the fact that all of the backlash that it's gotten. I mean, what can you do? It's not going to get better, and that's just because of all of the half and half with the people hating it and people completely agreeing with it. And the cool thing about it too, which is also unfortunate, is all the people that agree with it have different agreements as to why they think certain parts of the game are better. So it makes it really hard to give it a better one.
Good point. Fair point. Very fair point. And you know, like I saw some people giving it a 6, and I'm kind of like, are you letting the microtransactions bother you that much that you don't like it? But then, you know, some people give examples about, you know, single player segments being repetitive, which I do agree with. I still enjoy them, but I think they're a little repetitive. But like people do, like you're right, Reezy. People have kind of different reasons for the criticism. So it's not just like microtransactions 6 out of 10, but some people are doing that, and I think. Like, for you to be bothered that much by the microtransactions to give a game that you otherwise enjoy a 6...
You are missing something, Inferno.
What?
A lot of people that are 4K enthusiasts or 4K hobbyists are upset about the upscale textures because the game was made with 1080p textures, according to some comments that we got on our last video,
right?
On some people on the internet. So a lot of like high resolution fans are like, well, why did EA make a blockbuster game with 1080 graphics to begin with, and then just upscale it and pixelate the blackness on a 4K resolution?
Yeah, but that's more in the cutscenes. No, I mean, I haven't really noticed that too much in the real game.
Well, they said it's terrible in coding and the fact that they use 1080p upscale.
Yeah, I mean, that is terrible. That is terrible. I mean, I figured a game of this caliber, of this clout, of this kind of development team would have 4K textures, especially because it does have a PC counterpart. Like, if it didn't have a PC version, that would almost be more acceptable, I think. But because it does, it's kind of like you went with 1080p textures, and you knew the X was out. You knew the PlayStation 4 Pro was going to have a bundle with this game. Like, come on.
So I think that's part of the fair criticism there. Okay. The other parts is just people, like, you know, pissed off about loot crates, and they need to get over it at this point. And another thing I saw going around on Twitter that I want to bring up before we get off Battlefront 2 is that I've seen a few journalists talk about that Disney is not happy with EA right now. Disney execs are not happy about the backlash from hardcore fans on the loot crates. They said it's making Star Wars look bad.
I completely agree. I'm 50-50 on the loot crates thing. I think it's really easy. I mean, I played maybe an hour, or I played just the campaign, and alone I had enough credits from that to already unlock like everything. Plus, if I absolutely wanted to, another game, any game that's free that has microtransactions immediately becomes the most expensive free game, and I think that's a huge problem. And Battlefront tried to catch on to what Call of Duty had done with the last game, because they did make a lot of money off of the microtransactions. People pay to win.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the future of the industry, and I know a lot of people, like, I got messages from people even on, you know, my personal friends, you know, that I know IRL, if you will, and they were messaging me, and they were saying, you know, did you pre-order Battlefront? I think I'm going to wait on it because I don't like the way that, you know, they just included microtransactions. I'm like, bro, this is the future, you know. This is the way it's going because of how much money, you know, games like Call of Duty have shown that they can actually make. I mean, friggin' GTA, you know, GTA 5 online just makes truckloads of money on microtransactions, and people aren't even as pissed about that as they are about something like this. It's just incredible.
Yep.
Like, how is that different? I think GTA 5, like, you pay for your shark card, you get millions of dollars, and you can go online and you know, buy like tanks and shit. Like, that's also pay to win, if you will. I mean, it's not as competitive multiplayer with those tanks as this is, I would say, but, or like Call of Duty, but it's still, I mean, it's funny how people, like, how gamers online will just, you know, pick and choose what battles they want to have. Like, they're not going to battle with GTA because GTA is epic in nature, but like Battlefront 1 was not that great. So Battlefront 2 they can just shit on, you know? But I don't know. It's the future though. It is definitely the future. So for people that are questioning whether or not they want to buy into that kind of thing, like, just don't buy them, but they're going to be there. So you might as well just enjoy your games, you know? Don't let it make you not enjoy your shit.
They're in everything. I mean, it's no different than playing card games. They're in Hearthstone. They're in Gwent. They're in so many different things, these microtransactions, that it doesn't even matter anymore. You can still play the game without them. Just earn it through playing the game, like Assassin said.
Mm-hmm. And like Reezy's been doing. Yeah, exactly. And I know there's been an article on Kotaku saying that apparently EA has talked about how there's a ton of shit to unlock and it may take years to unlock it. And somebody actually calculated it out on Reddit that if you want to unlock absolutely everything that the game has to offer, it would take like over 4,500 hours of gameplay. I don't know how much I believe that. Is that true, Assassin?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one because, like, you can earn credits very easily.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I play like an hour. I could probably open a crate, which, you know, to Call of Duty standards, you have to play a lot more games than just like 3 to open a crate. Mm-hmm. They give you like 5 things, plus 45 scraps to then craft whatever you want. So, I mean, they give you a lot.
Like, this guy says that there's only 324 cards, and then upgrading those is going to take like 150,000 scraps. So, okay, you want to upgrade all your stuff all the way. That's a different story than having them. I mean, Reezy just said he played not too long, and he has pretty much everything he cares about. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to have absolutely everything. If you're not going to play as heavy class, then what the fuck do you care that you don't have the heavy class cards?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't have them, and somebody else can get them by buying them. Like, come on, man. If you're not going to play that class, who cares? Or, like, if you're never going to pick Darth Maul as a hero or a villain or whatever, what do you care if you don't have Darth Maul's cards all the way upgraded? Like, it's
I want all his emotes, Inferno.
Oh, yeah. If I don't get those emotes, dude, I'm out. There's no point in playing the game.
It's over.
And I quit Overwatch.
There you go. Yeah, Overwatch is doing this, and I know there's been some news in the European press, right, Clowns? Maybe you can elaborate on this a bit more, that I guess Belgian government is going to look into these microtransactions on this and Overwatch and see if it's, you know, violating their laws or whatever, and they may ban this kind of thing, right?
According to the early reviews so far from the Belgian Commission on this, is that they're saying that the games are rated PEGI 12 in Europe, which means that kids can play them, basically, like preteens can play them. And in Belgium, preteens paying for anything with a chance of any type of drop, according to the commissioners, is gambling over there. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling that in Belgium, they're going to lay some rules down, and the press is saying that if Belgium does lay some rules down, it's going to affect the way developers do it internationally, because they only make really one style of the game and they port it across all regions.
Right. And, you know, Belgium, for people who don't know, is kind of like a big European country for gaming. I mean, there are a few big European countries for gaming, and Belgium is one of them. So, I mean, UK is another. I mean, Germany is another. You know, Germany has Gamescom for a reason. You know, France is another. You know, there are some really big European countries for gaming, and if a country like Belgium is going to do this, I mean, what are people going to follow suit? I guess they're expecting them to, right, Klaus?
I mean, the rest of Europe will probably follow suit because they're all part of the European Union.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then that really knocks out Asia and Europe at that point, because China's already against loot crates.
Right. That's true. This is true. Really quick, want to get to the chat. I have been seeing you guys talk about this, and you guys have been making some good points. I want to get something Enrique just said. The Basement Radio Arcade Podcast says it's the difference is how it's implemented. the microtransactions are implemented in a different way in Battlefront 2, and it is different. It is a little different the way it's implemented. Like it's more obvious that you can buy your way to gain an advantage, I think, in this game than in some other games. I think obviously, like any company that does this kind of thing wants you to buy them, right? So it's not really a surprise. But
well,
go ahead.
My whole thing on the whole pay to win scenario, they do, as already stated before, they do already give you the ability to play and earn credits to already unlock these crates. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, even if you were to pay to win, using these crystals to unlock these crates, they don't do. I mean, it's seriously just like buying the crate as if you already to pay. So you can unlock however many cards you want. There's no guarantee that you're going to get a rare card or a legendary card. It's the same exact thing that COD did in its last game, where not World War II, but the game before that, you could buy crates, but if you got a duplicate, here's like 10 credits back. That's all you get.
Right.
There was a very, very small amount of here's a give back because you got a duplicate thing. I mean, it's just a way for these companies to make money, but I don't necessarily consider it a gambling type thing. I think it's a little weird that a lot of these UK, for lack of better terms, countries, they just decide, okay, well, it's gambling. Yet, I mean, look at CSGO. That game's everywhere.
Yep.
Like every country in the world still plays that game, and they still have gambling sites that aren't supported by the founders themselves. And I think that's what Battlefront's running into, is the reason that they're getting attacked so hard is because they haven't done it before. The first time they have done something like this, I mean, all it really is battle packs from Battlefield.
Right.
Now you can buy them.
Right, and I didn't hear so much outcry and we've said this in a past show, but I didn't hear so much outcry in Battlefield 3. We can buy shortcuts for the engineer, for the assault class, and you unlocked everything. Did you hear anybody bitching about that? No.
And I same thing in Battlefield 4. Bitching about it, believe it or not.
What'd you say, Sasha?
I actually, the other day, I saw someone bitching about these shortcuts in the Battlefield game.
You're kidding me! Come on!
I'm like...
Jeez.
You can earn, like in Battlefield 1, for instance, you can earn all the guns very quickly that aren't tied to assignments or DLC. You can earn them very quickly. They release them months or weeks after the game's launch, where everyone has it, and just giving people incentive to buy it so they're caught up with everyone. Like,
and see, that I can understand. If in the event they were to add the whole microtransaction thing, wait till after Christmas. Like, come on, everyone knows that this is video game season. Games are going to launch left and right, and no parent's going to want to buy it. They're going to wait until Christmas, then let the game launch. It'd be nice to have maybe a pack or two already set aside for the people who did decide to get it on Christmas. Maybe they can catch up like that, but for them to add it right off the bat, I mean, for people who pre-ordered the deluxe edition, they got it 3 days early. So I almost have like everything I want to completely just destroy everyone. So for them to be able to have a position to catch up later, that could be different, but I don't know about actually doing it right this minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point. And you made an awesome point that I hadn't even considered when talking about pay to win. Like, what about editions that give you early access to multiplayer? Is that pay to win because you're paying extra? You get the game early. You get to put hours in. You get to unlock the stuff. So, ergo, you paid money to earn the stuff before other people can earn it. So, is that pay to win? No one bitches about that.
That's like the same thing with season passes. You're gonna get unlocks for things like people can't get, that you can't normally get, like the Peacemaker in Call of Duty. You get that gun, and GG. But nope, no one says anything.
Nobody complained in Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I mean, they could really milk it out of that one.
Jesus, man. No, well, I don't know. I agree the implementation is very aggressive in this. Like, I agree with that. And like, kind of wrap up with this topic, I do want to say that, after further inspection, I do think it sucks that equal battles skill-wise can be won by people that bought money. Like, that does suck. But also equal skill battles can be won by people who've put more time into the game and unlocked more anyway. You know what I mean? You may have equal skill, but then what about the people that got the star cards, you know, authentically, I guess, if you want to say, if they got it properly through playing the game? Like, they will have the star cards, they will have equal skill, and then they'll use that star card for 30% more damage, and they'll fuck you up. Like, what's the problem? Is that not a problem, but it's a problem if they pay money for it? I just don't understand that, because it's...
All right, I got an idea, guys. So everybody in the chat right now, if you spread the Cast Me 4 Guys link around and people donate, I will spend $200 of that money on star cards and see what happens. We'll do it. We'll do a test.
They're not permanently removed.
Well, no. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, I see what it was. He was just trying to make a quick buck. Come on, guys.
There you go.
Be smart here.
Well, also, we were forgetting there's systems in place for Battlefront 2 that someone who drops $100 and they're level 1 can't get the highest tier card, because you have to be a certain level.
You have to be a certain level. You have to put time in.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. I know Assassins and Reezy both have been playing this game, and they both say that it doesn't, that the loot crates necessarily don't matter if you spend money on them. But according to Maka, he feels that this whole thing is pay to win. I don't know if you've seen Maka's tweet.
Yeah, no, and I responded. He and I talked at length about that, and I don't necessarily agree with him 100%. I respect his opinion, but what he has said is that equal skill battles are definitely won by people with the star cards. And I agree with that. You get the star cards for a reason. They are boosts. They are multiplayer boosts. But who's to say that people that can get those star cards via playing the game and unlocking them organically versus buying them? Like, who is to know that? You know what I mean? Like, if you can unlock the same stuff through playing and having credits and getting the right RNG, right? Who's to say that they didn't get it that way versus paying $20 and opening a few packs? Like, you just don't know. That's the thing.
You can kind of tell right now, at least, because you'll see some people that are like level 47 in assault class, and they're like, you clearly dropped a few $100 on the game.
Right. I mean, in that case, you do know, but like, in that case, like, are you really upset about losing a head-to-head battle against somebody who was willing to drop that kind of money on a fucking video game? Like, is that really going to bother you at night because you're an equal skill character, or let's say you're a better skill player than that person, but you lost because it's obvious that person spent hundreds of dollars? Like, that wouldn't make me upset. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the devs even stated with the matchmaking, if you like totally annihilate people, you're going to be put in matches that people totally annihilate people. There's some skill-based.
Yeah, the matchmaking is insanely balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you have a level 47 who fucking sucks ass and he's paid a bunch, you could be placed with him. He might have a bunch of good stuff, but he probably sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But then you can go on lobbies where some people don't pay anything and they're extremely good, and you're extremely good, so it's going to be balanced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. And Supersonic Station is absolutely right when he says that, people have been pissed about this kind of thing, and it's like building up. You know what I mean? They see microtransactions in this game, and they see their favorite game. It has microtransactions. They're like, oh man, why does this have to have microtransactions? People have been like turning the other cheek and ignoring it for so long, and now Battlefront 2 comes out, and they implement it in a way that's just a little bit more aggressive than their other favorite game, and that's like the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I mean? And we kind of alluded to that while we've been talking about this thing, but like, It's almost as if this were the first implementation of microtransactions ever, it wouldn't be as egregious as like it is now, because people have been seeing it, getting pissed, letting it build up that anger, that upset mindset about this kind of thing. And then now here comes Battlefront 2, for all intents and purposes an awesome game, and they had to just put this in and aggressively market it. I mean, they want to make some money, guys. Like,
well, it's so funny that everybody's complaining about this and nobody's complaining about Need for Speed Payback. And Need for Speed Payback has some pretty harsh microtransactions in it that gets you some pretty good engine parts for your cars. And I believe there's online to it too. So, yeah, I mean, and that game is more of a grind than this thing. Trust me. I played some of it already.
Yeah.
And after 3 races, like, you have to grind to get more parts because you'll start losing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't played Need for Speed, but like, I don't know. People are going to now associate this with EA, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that is gonna suck. The craziest. It's so unfortunate that the company that's literally made games for years. I mean, and they're the ones getting it. Like
Right.
they're the ones getting the backlash on this the most, more than anyone else.
Yeah, how about
Yeah.
Activision, the ones that like,
Yeah,
started
who
this whole thing?
basically started the microtransaction.
Yeah, and they're the people who put, release DLC trailers weeks before the game's launch, but maps that are tied to only season passes and remaster maps that you have to pay for,
Right.
like COD 4.
Right.
But they're fun.
I mean, overall, I think you're kind of, and Mr. Solidola in the YouTube chat just talked about how he canceled his pre-order for Star Wars, and I think a lot of people are like are going that route, and I would say to them, I mean, if you're gonna cancel your pre-order, fine, like you're entitled to your opinion. If you're upset about this microtransaction thing, you should vote with your dollars, right? But I think you should definitely like red box it, give it a try, see if it really affects you that much, because you're gonna be missing out on something that's really good. Like the multiplayer is insanely good. In my opinion, insanely good.
You guys are going to disagree with me, but I actually like the single player. I find it like kind of easy enough to like breeze through and get achievements in, and I enjoy it.
I think the single player is good too. Like I don't have a huge problem with the single player. Like some of it's repetitive. There are definitely some like tower defense-ish segments where you just have to like defend whatever objective you're at, and they feel very similar, but at the same time, like I'm excited about it. I think the visuals are great, the sound is great. I'm really immersed in it to the point where, it's not really bothering me that it's repetitive. I don't think it's like super easy either. I mean, it's on the easy side, but there are difficulty scales, so it's not like you have to play on the baby difficulty or anything like that. So. All right, anyway, let's close out this topic because we're going a little long on this by showing this video of Assassin playing some Battlefront 2. Assassin, why don't you talk us through this video? What's going on with this thing?
Oh, okay, so I was playing Starfighter Assault on Camino, and I'm like, something's missing. I see, the burners or whatever in the back. I, look around. My whole ship is missing except the pilot. So all you see is the pilot sitting, flying around.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna cycle again for people who kind of missed that. But if you look closely, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, if you look closely, you can see it's literally just the pilot and the engine like afterburners in the back. There's nothing else there. And now that makes me wonder, Assassin. Like you should have messaged somebody and been like, "Hey, did you see my whole ship? Like, did that look like that on your screen too? Because that would have been funny as fuck. That would have been a huge advantage."
Oh yeah, well, at least on my screen, everyone else's ship was invisible, and some, because I was the Republic at the time, some of the Republic ships were also targeted as red, but you couldn't kill them because they're friendly, but they're also targeted as enemies. So it was really weird.
Weird, yeah, glitchy as fuck.
Makes you think of Battlefield 4 where like you'd get killed by grenades, but yeah, a tank clearly shot you and there's no one else around.
Nice. Yep.
Those used to be and then your teammate next to you would be highlighted the entire time, even after the kill cam.
Yep.
Those are the days.
Oh, those are good days. Those are good days. Oh man. All right, well, that's Battlefront 2. I know we talked a little long on that, but that is the big topic of the week, and people are pissed about the microtransactions, and I think we had a pretty good discussion on that. So,
there's one thing.
Go ahead, Assassin. Go ahead, please.
If you guys are going to talk shit, at least get some of your facts straight, because some people are saying that it still takes 40 plus hours to unlock heroes. So please read the news when you're going to talk shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not just the headline.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. There's a lot of shit going around. And before you, like, retweet people's stuff when they say stupid things, like, you should probably look into it yourself, because I saw some people retweeting some idiots on Twitter that were just, like, talking shit, like, that there's a paywall in this game. Like, if you don't know what a paywall is, don't say that there's a paywall. There's no paywall. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing hidden behind this wall that you have to pay extra for. That's what a paywall is. So if you say that, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a huge reviewer, if you're just a minor YouTube, if you're just some, bloke on the street to say like Des.
But Inferno, it's a $60 game behind a free-to-play. It's a free-to-play behind a $60 price tag.
Right. Oh, I've seen that too. Yeah. Which isn't exactly accurate, but at least it's more accurate than fucking paywall. Like, come on. Oh my god! When I saw that, I just went off. I'm just like, come on, guy! Like, stop spreading nonsense, because that's just perpetuating people not buying this game. This is the same thing that happened to Titanfall 2. That's why Titanfall 2 in this Black Friday sale is like $20 or like $10 or whatever the hell it is. It's super cheap, and the game is actually pretty good. So,
mediocre. Just had to get that.
Yeah, right, dude. The single player is so good on that.
Yeah,
so good.
That campaign was awesome.
Yeah, one of the best single player campaigns I've ever played. But people aren't gonna appreciate it because of bullshit. But I saw something else in the YouTube chat, but I didn't. So we shall go on to the next topic, which is Switch ports. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm sure you guys did because it was pretty much all over Twitter. That the Switch got Rocket League this week, and Doom, and LA Noire, and they're all pretty much full price. So LA Noire is $50, Doom is $60, and Rocket League is $20. So I mean, on the other platforms that these games are on, you can find these games for way cheaper than that. But it all begs to ask the question: are these obviously inferior versions of these games worth it just for the portability? Like, should you pay the extra just to have it on your Switch and be able to walk around with it and be portable? Or what do you think? Who is that?
Working man's a sucker.
What did you say?
The working man's a sucker.
The working man's a sucker. That's that's a Italian terminology for that crap, right? Because you want something so bad that you're going to pay the price for it because you're going to get sucked into it. I don't think it's worth it, man. Like people complain that Doom's not even up to par properly, and they want $60. I was gonna buy Skyrim on there because I thought it was gonna be like $39. No, it's $60. Like I bought Skyrim on the PC when it came out, Skyrim on the 360 when it came out, a PS3 when it came out, and then I bought the remastered again on the Xbox One when it came out. Why do I want to pay $60 on the Switch now for it? Oh.
It's the argument of whether or not the portability is worth rebuying it at full price. And I see a lot of people buying these, man. I see a lot of people buying these, especially Doom, which, Doom, the way it runs on the Switch, I will admit I am kind of impressed, but it's certainly nowhere close to what it runs on other platforms, like not even remotely close. And I know people are going to say that's not the point. The Switch is not, a powerhouse. It's not meant to compete. It's meant for portability. But are these experiences that like you need to have in portability mode, like Doom? I don't know if I'd be on like the bus playing Doom, to be honest. Rocket League maybe, but that's more multiplayer based. So if you don't have internet, I don't know.
Before anybody else chimes in, I just want to say that if you read Hack Informer or Wooloo.net, I mean, Nintendo's going to have to step up the game and start lowering the prices because they released a Switch 3.00 firmware exploit that will allow you to run user mode in Homebrew, and RetroArch is about to support it.
Jeez. Nintendo's always on the shitty end of these sticks, aren't they, with the hacking? Jesus, the Wii, the Wii U. So hackable, man. All these exploits, the Twilight hack, the good old days. Oh, man.
And they said that if you're interested in this exploit, go buy the Pokemon Tournament now because that's one of the games that are exploitable.
Really? Okay. Definitely getting that then. I mean, not getting that. I would never do such a thing. Reezy or Assassin, you guys have an opinion on this? Is this worth paying full price just for portability?
And if you enjoy the game, like I would probably have Star Wars Battlefront 1 or 2, the original one, went, on the Xbox and went full price, I would still fucking buy it. But, same thing with, Skyrim on the Switch. Like, if you enjoy that game a lot and you don't mind spending that money, then more power to you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I never, for specifically LA Noire, never got into it, but I know a lot of other people did. It really is completely dependent on the hardcore fan base. If in the event that someone's a big fan of the game, like Skyrim Remastered, I bought that game pre-ordered the day it was hitting the marketplace. So, and I still have not beaten even the main campaign. I've played so many hours, but did so many other different things. But for it to go portable and that to be full price, you're not really buying a whole other game. I don't know why it is even an option to have it like that. I was very frustrated when the Xbox 360 went to the Xbox One, and I had to pay full price pre-order just to get GTA 5 or Battlefield 4. I was like, I already have these games. Why do I have to pay full price to play it on a different console when I have it? Like, I know they had something about some exchange where you could like return it for $5, but I mean, you know, it's not the same with the way that Nintendo's doing it. Plus, you're right, they do get the shit end of the stick on this. Not only with the whole hacking thing, but now they're so late on the whole, oh, now you can play it on the go. Here's the remastered game you know and love on the go. It's like, okay, well, I mean, Xbox and PlayStation haven't really done that yet, but who cares?
Yeah, right. I mean, it really is, I guess, like you guys said, it really is dependent on how crazy you are about these games. Like, for instance, Skyrim. Like, you guys talked about that. You guys all love Skyrim. I don't really play Skyrim, but I do see the appeal of, like, being able to play that on the go. And, you know, because you have to put so many hours into it, you want to play it, you know, as much as you can wherever you go. Like, Doom isn't a particularly long game. You know, like, it's not like you're going to play Doom for hundreds of hours. Rocket League. What do you mean?
You could play Doom for hundreds of hours. It'd be pretty boring, but you could do it.
You'd be just replaying it over and over, essentially.
Yeah.
But like Skyrim...
I think
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
go
ahead, bud.
I think the biggest appeal that this whole Switch thing even got, it's literally just Skyrim. Skyrim, I think, skyrocketed the entire project. When people saw that game, not only the remastered edition, but on the go, I mean... Look, if I'm taking a crap and I have an option to play either Pocket Tanks on my phone or play Skyrim on the Switch, I'm going to play Skyrim. I'm going to kill a couple dragons, realize I've been in it for 3 hours, and get fired from my job. But that's the only appeal I can see to playing the Switch is really just for Skyrim. I don't see a whole lot of other people. And as Assassin said, you know, Rocket League, it's a multiplayer game. Like
RetroArch.
Clowns, when you do that, why don't you show me you've done it so I can and tell me exactly how to do it so we can talk about that. But
they're working on building a library now for RetroArch. So as soon as that library is built, I'm going to take my Switch offline. It may disappear.
There you go.
Thing, and it might reemerge with a little bit of difference.
Yeah. You're gonna have to buy a pretty big SD card, right? Born again Nintendo console.
No. Actually, no. The user mode exploit will be on the internal memory.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of internal memory, so
load up 128 gigabyte SD card for like old school NES games on it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, for something,
Reborn again.
But yeah, reborn again, exactly. YouTube chat's looking like some people are cashing in on this, quote unquote. Sounds like a cash grab, El Boogie says. I agree. I mean, Doom for $60. I understand that like people are, you know, still buying that, but I just can't believe they're charging $60 for Doom. Is there even multiplayer in it in this version?
Yeah.
There is?
Oh, and Switch version, that I don't know. But I do know that, I mean, the multiplayer, I never played it myself. There's quite a few games I'll be into, but I'll get just to kind of watch and see how everything goes.
Yeah.
Doom's multiplayer is pretty good. If in the event they figure out a way to get that Wi-Fi or to get some internal internet situation set up, kind of like the PSP was trying to do, then they may have a shot at making games like Doom and Rocket League work.
Absolutely.
And at full price, I can understand that. It's literally the same exact game in full on console in your hands, and you can take it anywhere.
Right. See, yeah, that makes sense. You have connectivity anywhere you go. Rocket League, I'd absolutely pay $20. Like, that's a totally different issue. Like, I think Rocket League is actually, even though it's the most bare bones probably of all these games, I think that's probably the most compelling at full price, because not only, you know, is it like different every time, and you know, you can have a lot of fun playing with your friends, but it's also cross-platform with PC and Xbox One, so like you can jump on it on your Switch and play with your friends on your Xbox One and have a good old time. But like, just that thing about being tethered to a Wi-Fi hotspot, man, like you put an LTE chip in there and that would sell like hotcakes in my opinion. But
plus the partnership would go through the roof. I imagine.
Absolutely. 100% agree on that. LA Noire, like, I know people say because LA Noire was the 360 game and this is like a kind of a remastered version, it definitely looks better than the 360 version. People are saying there is value in that. I mean, I know Jay Street, one of our bigger followers here at 4GwQPodcast. I know he was really excited for LA Noire. He's told me a bunch of times, like, don't sleep on that, don't trash that. I'm not necessarily going to trash that. Like, if that's worth it to you, that's worth it to you. But like Doom is literally like a gimped version of a game that you can get for like $15.
Like 30 frames per second is what people were saying.
30, yeah, it's 30 frames per second. Like, and yeah, it looks good. It's on I think it's 720p. It looks good on the screen of the Switch when you're using the 7-inch screen. But like, you put it up to the screen, you put it up on your TV in docked mode, like. You might as well just buy it on your Xbox or like on your mid-level PC and play it on that. Like, shit. Yeah.
I would say that even though Skyrim may be a cash grab, it'd be worth it if you travel a lot, like on airlines or something.
Yeah.
But then I forgot that TSA may be banning portable game devices from airlines.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. That's crazy. I hope they don't, because like, what are you gonna like? Why would you ban that and not laptops? You know what I mean?
It's like, cell phones are only going to be next. You're going to have to mail it to yourself when you get there.
Yeah, you're going to have to like check into the plane. You're going to have to deposit into a box like it's a fucking class or something.
Mail it to yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to the FedEx station at the airport and fucking put it in a box. See which one gets there first, you or the phone. Jesus. All right, Assassin, any last words on this before we go on to the next topic?
No.
Wow, you just don't care because you don't have a Switch. You're a jealous motherfucker. I can see it all over your face.
Him and Taylor both. Taylor, every time we go to GameStop, she like flips out. I need a Switch, and I'm like, no, you gotta save.
That's right. You guys being so responsible. I'm jealous. Meanwhile, we just got another dog that was $2,300, and I'm like going crazy right now. But
I feel you. I blew my entire savings on trying to get Taylor this ring, and I still haven't paid it off. So,
wow.
Yep.
Those things are expensive. So, I know they're expensive, but it's not the dog I get to keep with me. I have a best friend there. The ring's not going to be my best friend. Whoa. It's going on my best friend, but hopefully
not a dog.
Hopefully Taylor's not in earshot or watching the podcast right now. To hear that.
Yeah, she I think took a trip to the restroom, so we're okay.
Good. All right, next topic. So Xbox One X sold pretty well. If you guys didn't get that memo, 80,000 units in the first week. And that demolished the comparison to PS4 Pro, which was like, way behind that. It took 4 weeks for it to reach that same number. And people are saying, it's not about the marketing. It's not about it being better. It's about, the PlayStation 4 Pro being, low on quantity at launch. Like that, no one can get them, so the sales were lower, blah, blah, blah. Guys, the Xbox One X is better than the PlayStation 4 Pro. I have both. I love my Pro. I do play games, the exclusives on it, and I think it's a great console, but the Xbox One X is certainly better. So I am very impressed with this number. Even I didn't think it was going to hit this number so quickly because I thought the price was going to be a bigger problem for people. But I guess the price isn't really that big of a problem because there were lots of pre-orders. The hype was real. They had the party downtown NYC. People were watching that stream, getting ready for their midnight launches, and people were just going nuts for this thing, even at $500. So,
Amazon screwed it up.
Amazon fucked the people over. Right? They probably would have sold like 100,000 if Amazon didn't screw shit over. People canceling pre-orders left and right. But yeah, you guys surprised about this? I mean, did you guys expect it to sell really well? I mean, I was kind of worried at the $500 price point, to be honest.
I wish it would have sold a lot better. Only reason I say that is they could have done a little bit of a better job kind of promoting the X, but they did the same exact thing that they did for the S. They didn't really promote it all too much. It's like, here's an upgraded console. Looks great, doesn't it? That's pretty much all they did. When they showed it at E3, I'm sure people were going nuts. I would have put my pre-order in for it, but I decided that Star Wars Battlefront, Assassin's Creed Origins, all the great new games, that those were hotspots for the money. And of course, launching the Xbox One X near the same exact time as all these new video games around November, around Christmas. It's kind of just one of those things where it's like, oops, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think Microsoft's pretty impressed with how it's done, even though it probably could have done better if they did things like you said, where they could have like really shown the differences directly to fans a little bit better than they did. Like at E3, obviously it showed extremely well. So, there was no doubt that I was going to get one after seeing it at E3. But, for a lot of other people out there that had 1080p TVs that were on the fence, I mean, they didn't pre-order right away. They probably still haven't even bought it. They want to see, is it way better? They want to see with their own eyes. And I think Microsoft could have done a little bit better with that. Like I was in Best Buy the other day, guys, and there were 2 stations at my local Best Buy for PSVR, but I haven't seen any shit for Xbox One X. Like, why is that? You know what I mean? That would help them sell them. But, they decided not to go that route for some reason. I don't know why, but, they're showing off PSVRs still to this day at Best Buy, getting people to buy those, and those aren't even that great, but people are seeing that it's different and they're able to try it themselves and get some hands on. So I don't know. I think 80,000 is a pretty good number, but it's not as good as it could have been for sure. Who is it? Assassin or Clowns that was speaking that I kind of interrupted?
No, I think Reezy started off speaking.
Oh, sorry, Reezy. Was it you again?
No, I'm good. I said what I said.
Oh,
I think it was actually Assassin who did have a plan to say something.
I thought it was too. Assassin, what were you going to say about this, bud?
I really don't remember.
Wow, you're a stooge, dude. You're a stooge.
He's just an Xbox One X hater, dude.
He really is. He really, really is. Like he has an Xbox One X. He has a 4K TV. He's got it made with his gaming setup, and he still wants a Switch. And he's bitter as fuck that we talked about that tonight. He still wants a PS4 Pro.
Oh my god, I'm not that we don't. You guys have one in the future. I would love to have one, but I'm loving my Battlefront 2. I'm in a good place right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm completely content not getting the Switch for a while. I'll stick with the I'll stick with Battlefront until next E3 when I see another new game coming out that I really want.
Exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead, Inferno, I thought initially the price point was kind of high like you did on the Xbox One X, and I thought only hardcore was going to buy it, but it turns out that, as we came closer to launch, myself and other people realized right on the wall that it was going to do better than we initially thought, because a lot of casuals, a lot of people on PS4 Pro, PC people, they went ahead and they bought the Xbox One X because of the power of the console. Even if they don't make it their main console, they still bought it for their house. So it did better. And I think that as far as like Reezy said, I want it to do better. Like I want it to do better in Japan and Asia. That's where Xbox really needs to hit the mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wonder if, the reason it didn't do better is because they don't have games that cater to those people, or because the price, or what? Because, like, everybody, a lot of people in China, a lot of people in Asian markets game on PCs. Like, they want power, they want smoothness. And this console, I think, gives the best power, it gives the best smoothness to the games that people want those things from when it comes to console gaming. So I think the recipe is kind of there, other than games that cater to Asian crowds and Asian tastes. But I don't know. Like, I figured Microsoft kind of hit a home run with this thing in terms of making it definitively the most powerful console and catering to all kinds of people. But I guess people in Asia didn't really take to it, right, Clowns?
Yeah, I mean, it did better than they thought, I think, but it just didn't really sell to analytical expectations in Asia.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. The fact that it took the PS4 Pro longer to get there, I think is kind of a win for Microsoft. But at the same time, like, people are still buying more PlayStation 4 like base models than Xbox One S's. So that's not necessarily a win. I know a lot of people want to run with that, but I mean, Sony's not in trouble because of the Xbox One S, and I know a lot of people are kind of running with that, and that Sony's kind of like running with their tail between their legs, but they're not really. I mean, the games do look better, but at the same time, they're still selling a ton of units, so it is what it is. But yeah, Assassin, you got any final thoughts on this?
No. EA just released a statement for
I know,
Battlefront 2.
it's terrible. What a bunch of freaking morons removing loot crates, huh?
Yeah, I posted that. I tried to post the link in the YouTube, but it didn't work. It's
Yeah.
actually in our Discord chat here. If you guys wanted to try and link it, that's the article talking about it. But yeah, that sucks.
Oh, I can't do that because then I'll screw up the captures. But yeah, so I mean, we talked about that a little bit. Let me just get the right screen up. I mean, we talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the show. Some breaking news, I guess, is that they did take out the microtransactions. I mean, we were talking about that being a possibility. I mean, I guess that sucks. I mean, I don't think it was that big of a deal anyway. I mean,
well, I guess it was a big deal in a way that it was getting people to not play the game. So, I mean, removing these, especially for the game officially launches tomorrow, is good sign that people are listening. They said that they're going to bring them back, but for more till they balance and other things in the game. So there's a chance, because they said that they're bringing a bunch of customization options, that they can just go that way instead.
right.
I
think
bet
people.
I could see that.
Disney slammed the hammer down and probably told them to do this. Not because of gamers, not because gamers like sent a message to EA or nothing, or on EA's behalf. It was probably Disney calling EA and said, "Take the shit down now."
Yeah. I could see it. I mean, this was definitely, if the trend went as it was going with the reviews and with the backlash, it definitely was going to miss targets. I mean, the first game outsold expectations by a shit ton. I think the first game in the first year sold like 12 million copies or something absolutely insane like that. Even though it wasn't reviewed too well and people, overwhelmingly thought it was not that great. I mean, I liked it. I liked it for what it was, but it certainly wasn't like anything, transcendent in shooters. But this one I think is exceptional, and it got crushed by reviewers and people weren't buying it. So it's like, what the fuck, man? If this is going to help it sell, then it's a good thing, but
Agreed, yeah. It'll be a tremendous improvement if in the event that it does help it sell. I think it'll make a lot more money.
Yeah. And Clowns is right. Like, so many big players have their investments tied into this game that if you're gonna have to come in and be like, listen, bitch, like, you have to do something now to get these sales back up to where they're projected, because this is a huge game, and this was hugely advertised, hugely touted. Like, this was the game a lot of people were looking forward to. Assassin was pulling off the days on his little countdown calendar that he made out of Post-it notes and shit like that. And people were anticipating the shit out of this. So I mean, when they bring him back, I do hope it's mostly customization options, just so people don't stop bitching again and totally abandon the game. But at the same time, I don't think it was that big of a deal. I think it was really overblown. But I guess the take-home message, gentlemen, is if you just, bitch a lot, you'll just get what you want, right?
That's how women do it. I mean,
what? Oh, man.
Must have been someone else.
Somebody said that behind you, right?
Yeah.
All right, two more topics, super quick. This game I didn't really even play, but apparently it had a huge fan base. I know Beard, shout out to him, good guy, met him at E3 a couple years ago. Huge Xbox fan, huge Xbox gamer. He likes to play free-to-play games that are like this, that are RPG-like games. And this is a free-to-play game, Marvel Heroes Omega, and the developer Gazillion canceled the game. Or not canceled it, but they're shutting down the game. Now, the game's been out on PC for 4 years, but just came out on console not even 6 months ago or 8 months ago or something like that. Very recently. And so, I don't know. Is it acceptable to close down a game and keep the money of people that bought microtransactions? People shelled out money. I mean, I hate to go back to microtransactions, but here we are again, right? People shelled out a ton of money for customizations, characters, their favorite Marvel heroes in this game, and now they're shutting the fucking thing down. You know, the game came out in 2017 on console, and now they're shutting it down at the end of 2017. It's like, oh, we just took all your money. It's like a bad Kickstarter, but in real life, you know. I don't know, clowns. You're laughing about it. Do you have something?
I just think it's pathetic because that, you know, it's Marvel, and Marvel's big, and Marvel has a lot of money, and Marvel has a lot of fans, and there's a lot of Marvel fans that play this game on PC and console, and it's like Marvel pulls the rug out and says, hey, for whatever reason, we're just going to close down the servers, probably because it's not as profitable as we thought it was going to be. We thought more suckers are going to buy into the Marvel universe and pay us lots and lots and lots of money, and it's not happening, so we're taking away from you. So have fun.
Well, you know what it all comes down to, right? Our almighty Lord and Savior Disney just not making enough money from a project that they probably still have to fund.
Right.
And that's probably why they're shutting it down.
Disney's behind Marvel. They own it, and money talks to these guys.
It's like, and didn't Disney shut down like their, remember they shut down the like, Toys to Life thing? What was the name of that game? Shit. What was the name of that Disney game that was like Skylanders? Disney Infinity. Yes. Remember you tap the toy to the pad, and they shut that thing down. They had like 3 more big releases for characters and for franchises that were going to become Disney Infinity characters, and they shut that shit down. They're like, fuck this isn't making enough money, like we're done with this, and they shut that shit down. And now here's another example of that potentially, you know, Gazillion is not a huge developer, but I mean they were putting big work into this game. They had you know, they had a lot of stuff planned for this game. I mean, shit, they just released like a few characters not that long ago, like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, right. Yep. Like a few weeks ago, they released characters for this game. And now you went out and bought those characters to play in this game and have fun playing it for the next 2 months because we're going to shut that shit down. Not even, like a month and a half. Have fun playing it. Like,
you know how hard it is to refund the accounts like that too? I mean, that's really hard to do. It's not like a pre-order that you can get and then like, oh, the game didn't go through, you know, here's your money back. I mean, that's like already said and final. Plus, you already agreed to the terms and conditions. As soon as you buy a game, there is no refund for it. You buy at your own risk, and that's something all gamers should be aware of. I don't necessarily agree that they're going to knock out the game completely and make it to where no one's going to at least get some sort of compensation for it. You know, there should be at least. You know, Disney's got to. I think Disney is at. They need to release something that gamers can have. To at least put back in to their wallets or put back into the gaming community that allows them to just make it better, because it's not fair. It's a big game.
Yeah, and you're 100% right about that, Reezy. Like to have that kind of infrastructure to refund all those people, it's just not feasible. I mean, people agree to terms and conditions. They just do it blindly. They're just like, fuck it, continue. I want to play the game. But in there, nested is just a way for them to just do this kind of thing and get away with it. And I know people are going to be pissed, but, you know, at the end of the day, like, you kind of agree to this thing. There's just no way that you could easily get refunded for something of this nature. Like, it's just crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, one of these days, the Xbox 360 is no longer going to be having internet connectability, same as the original Xbox. People are going to get mad because they bought an Xbox a month before that happened. Like, I mean, come on.
Right. What are you going to say, clowns?
The whole situation is just sick. It's like walking into a restaurant and you got 5 minutes left for breakfast. So you order breakfast and they come to your table like, oh yeah, you got 1 minute left to eat that. And then it's gone forever. We're taking it away from you forever. Hurry up. You got 1 minute. Hurry up. You know?
This is the huge argument with people about like digital versus physical, right? Like people don't know when the server is going to go down for these games. When are these games no longer going to be, you know, especially like you know, like PlayStation Now and stuff where you stream games. Like people who are investing in that are, you know, just counting down the days that thing's not supported anymore, and you just wasted your money because you lost everything. So it's like, yeah, you got to be aware, but at the same time, there's just no way in a situation like this that somebody could know this ahead of time. You know, that's what kind of sucks about it. But at the end of the day, it is business. I mean, you, like Reezy said, you go into it, you kind of have to be educated enough to know that this thing is going to happen. Is it acceptable in gamers' eyes? No. And are people going to support gazillion games anymore? Probably not. But are people going to boycott the next Marvel movie? Absolutely not. You know, so Disney doesn't give a shit. You know, Marvel doesn't give a shit because it's not going to trickle down that far. People are just going to be pissed at gazillion when it may not have been their call, you know?
Oh, for anybody that's listening, if you know, sometimes certain credit card agreements or debit card agreements, if a product's no longer supported or a product's pulled off the market, sometimes you can dispute it with your issuing bank, and some banks will refund it. So keep that in mind. Not all of them will, but some will.
In this situation, I bet you in this situation, if you try to do something like that about this game with your credit card company, they'll just laugh at you. Can you imagine dispute and be like, I bought microtransactions and they just announced that they're going to close the game down so I can only use it for 3 months and that's not fair. That's not what I paid for. They'll probably be like, all right, kitty, go ahead and grow up.
Think about it too, though. If somebody, you know, waits till like a month after the server's down, right? Because some credit cards, I think 30, 60 days or whatever. Right. So you wait till the server shut down. Then they dispute it and be like, oh, I don't remember this purchase. And then they go to contact the vendor and the vendor's no longer in existence. And
they just don't respond. Yeah, exactly.
So then the bank's like, oh, guess, you know, Here's your refund.
Nice. Oh man, Assassin, you get the last word on this, bud. Is this a big deal? Is this acceptable? What do you think?
I mean, it sucks, but it's also, you know, not to be expected. But I mean, it's a free-to-play game. EA's done, you know, took servers off of other games. So I mean, it's not as big as this, but I mean, it just plain out sucks.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's not even the first time something like this has been done. So I know there's a lot of outrage about this because this was getting to be a pretty popular game. And, you know, they can rationalize it by saying this has been out on PC for like 4 years. They just recently brought it to console. It was kind of like an afterthought, if I've been reading correctly, that console would even support this kind of thing. And now, you know, you see a lot of games like Neverwinter, some big like free-to-play open world games, Warframe, for instance. Not necessarily open world Warframe, but pretty big in scope, you know. Like those games have been doing well, but
Gigantic's getting shut down too, I think.
Is Gigantic actually getting shut down, or does the studio just get shut down? I think they're actually supporting Gigantic, but I guess time will tell, right?
Perfect World cut a few studios, and like what was it? I can't remember the name. They got cut, so I only imagine it's a matter of time.
Yeah, Motiga or whatever, Motiga. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, that's the dev. But yeah, I mean, yeah, once you get shut down, I guess it's
kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean that sucks. It does, and that kind of got shut down before it could even get off the ground. It's just like, you know, people don't like to see this kind of thing happen when they just spend money on it, like. You know, just like for games that go free to play that will once, you know, force retail sale, like Battleborn or Evolve or something. Like, if you just bought the game and then it goes free to play, like, you're gonna be fucking pissed.
Well, yeah, and thankfully those free to play games like that have actually been refunding the customers, because Fortnite actually did that themselves. They originally, you could buy the game, but if in the event that you got the multiplayer, you were, you know, it's now a free to play game, so you can easily put a petition into that to them, show proof of show proof of transaction history, and they'll refund you right away. Mm-hmm. So for them to do that, you know, that's a big company supported by Unreal Engine, so it's not like it's not gonna. Other companies aren't going to see this and just be like, oh, we should never do that. They're easily going to jump on that train.
Right. It's just like, it's kind of like what we said. It's just, is that even possible in a situation like this? I mean, gazillion, I don't know how big they are, but they're not very big. They're not going to have the infrastructure to do something like that for this, I don't think. So you're kind of stuck where you're at. Hopefully you didn't spend a lot of money, because if you did, it's not going to be very worthwhile after December 31st, 2017. So, and they'll just shut the service down like that. It's like, all right, we're not going to pay the money to support the service. Bye, done. So, you know, it's not even like you can continue to play on after that. It's like you can't even connect. So it's one of those deals. All right, last topic of the evening before we get out of here. Black Friday is next week. And we're probably not gonna have a podcast next week because next Thursday is Thanksgiving, and a week from tomorrow is Black Friday. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at the deals. I hope you did, because I got a couple that I think are great. Clowns, were you starting to say something?
Yeah, I mean, the deals are crazy. GameStop matched some of the prices that, what was it? I think Target was doing for like Evil Within for $25, Evil Within 2. Injustice 2, $14. I mean, those are good grabs at that price.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Right there. I mean, that's definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, when I first saw the first couple of ads kind of leak, I was kind of really disappointed. And then the big players came out, and I'm just like, shit, game deals are looking great. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that has to do with, growing digital sales, so they have to compete, or whether or not they're just trying to compete with each other and make, the best sales they can do. But I mean, I think I wrote down a huge list on my spreadsheet here of stuff that I'm interested in. Include, like, not even just games, but most of them are games. A lot of 4K movies. Like, if you want to build your 4K movie library, if you have an Xbox One S or Xbox One X, or even if you just have a standalone 4K Blu-ray player, definitely look at Best Buy. They've got a lot of awesome movies for $10, a lot of great movies for $15. I mean, they've got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to be $15 on 4K Blu-ray. I mean, that's really fucking good. They've got Wonder Woman, which is probably one of the better DC movies that's been released recently. That's going to be $10 on 4K Blu-ray. So look at that kind of stuff. I'll give games in a second, but Assassin or Reezy, did you guys look at the deals at all? You guys see anything?
The only thing that caught my eye was Best Buy's 4K movies, because they're so expensive right now. $30, depending on where you're looking for a disc, not digital.
Yeah.
It's just way too much. But now they're $10, like you said, 10, 15. Big deal.
Yeah, 10. I mean, and there's in the $15 category on Black Friday, I mean, there's going to be like 70-something movies. So you can really build up your library quickly for not a lot of money. And for the $10 movies, I think there's going to be like 30 of them or so. And some of them are good, like Wonder Woman, like I said. John Wick, like that movie is awesome. I freaking love that movie. Ex Machina is pretty good. I mean, a lot of people probably haven't seen that, but that's a really good movie. The original Hunger Games is going to be $10. I mean, those are just a few I wrote down that I want to get, so... some really good deals. You didn't look at any game deals? I know the Xbox Live Black Friday sale, I guess, is already up and running. I already bought Wolfenstein 2. We already got for $30. That game just recently came out, so that's a pretty good deal. But Reezy, you looking at any sales at all? The
only one, of course, that I was paying attention to, which is probably what a ton of people have been paying attention to, back to the Xbox One X dollar amount here. I have not found a single place that's going to be having any sort of good deal on it.
Nope.
A lot of the games that are releasing, like right now, I mean, Assassin's Creed Origins is probably going to be like $45. Call of Duty.
No, Assassin's Creed Origins is actually only going to be like $35 at Best Buy.
That's crazy.
That's a good deal.
And look at that.
That's a nasty deal.
The most I've seen on the X, I think, was only a $50 discount.
Yeah.
On Black Friday, which is just, to me, I think it's a little outrageous. I think they easily should just, depending on the sales, I know that they had that much, but I mean, if it sold that well, I mean, I could be wrong here. I could be just a pain in the ass to Microsoft right now. I'm sure that Cyber Monday, they may have a tremendous amount compared to Black Friday.
True.
But I still think that at least a $100 off thing. I mean, because it's still a $500 console, $400. It's not really like a big loss to them. And I'm sure they would sell more consoles if they dropped it just for one day. Like sold out status, kind of one of those things.
Yeah, and even last year, I know last year the big deals on PlayStation 4 Pro were bundled with 4K TVs. That's how you got the best deal on those things. But I know my brother bought one. I had a couple of the friends that I know got one for like $340, so it was a $60 discount. I mean, that's not too crazy, but at least that's something that will entice you to get it. And that, the PlayStation 4 Pro was a new release last year, so I agree with you. I kind of expected, $50 to be the norm off of the Xbox One X. I know it did just come out, last week or whatever, but at the same time, like, you want to drive sales of these things big time. You want to compete. You probably should do some sort of discount.
Yeah, completely agree. And that's pretty much the whole main point there.
Yeah.
One game I know I am looking forward to, however, as far as the discounts go, I unfortunately already bought the game, but for those who haven't, pick up Horizon Zero Dawn if you have a PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Holy cow. People are like, oh my god, it's going to be the new mascot of PlayStation. I'm just over here like, Xbox, Halo, you can't beat it, Gears of War. But then I played maybe an hour of it so far. It's amazing. Of course, anytime I hop on the PlayStation, I'm always kind of blown away because I pretty much am like Naughty Dog's secret fanboy since like Crash Bandicoot days.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, I could show you my entire. I already got last Black Friday. I had a huge deal, $350. I got the entire Uncharted collection, 1 through 4, and a PlayStation 4. So
nice.
They always have good deals, but Horizon Zero Dawn easily going to be a great pickup. Kind of late on the Destiny 2 grind, but they made the game a lot better, so that's also going to be a good one. But I think Forza was the only other game I've been looking at as far as discounts go.
Yeah. I mean, all those have pretty good discounts, even digitally. Like, if you want to look at the Xbox Live, I haven't seen any PlayStation Network Black Friday sales yet, but those are sure to come. Hopefully those are competitive with what the retailers are doing. But the Xbox Live Black Friday sale, very good deals. Like you said, Forza's in there. Assassin's Creed Origins is in there. I mean, it's a little more money. I think Origins is like $40, but I mean, that's definitely worth it, I would say. But yeah, like Horizon Zero Dawn for $20, that's a no-brainer. If you haven't gotten that, that's an absolute no-brainer. I got Uncharted Lost Legacy for I think it was like $15 to $16 on a Black Friday early sale that they had at Best Buy. It's going to be around that same price on Black Friday, so you can grab that. Let me see some other ones I wrote down. I mean, Wolfenstein I had written down, but I just got it digitally, so can check that off my list. I mean, For Honor, I know that game isn't too great, and a lot of people give it a lot of shit, but I'm picking that up for $15. I'm sorry, that's cheap enough for me to grab it.
Where's that for $15?
For Honor for $15 is gonna be at Target and Best Buy. Walmart's gonna have it for $19, but Target, definitely for $15, absolutely. What else do I have on here? Super Lucky's Tale. I know Clowns just got a pretty good deal on it, but I'm gonna grab that at Best Buy for $20. That's a brand new release. That's an Xbox One 4K title. Definitely looking forward to that. Shadow War is gonna be $30 at pretty much everywhere. Best Buy, Target, Walmart's gonna have Shadow War for $30, so I'm gonna grab that. 100% grab that. And I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not to get Ghost Recon Wildlands. I know that's, some people say that's good, some people say it's terrible. I played the beta.
Same time.
Really? I mean, it's only $19 at where is this at? It's at Walmart, $19. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Not worth it.
They had a deal on the console where you could get it for like $20, and it was like the pre-order edition or something like that. It's not bad. It just depends on how you are with repetitiveness and grindy.
Right.
To me, I'm a big Ubisoft supporter, but like, stop with the MMORPGs. You guys are not doing a great job with it at all. Division was okay when it first launched, but after they started making the looting updates to Dark Zone or whatever, and then they released this game, I was like, okay, it's gonna be cool. Now, the only thing I would say that's even worth, and it just depends on how much you're going to actively play the game, competitive multiplayer. That may be worth $20 as far as a Black Friday deal goes. They are still making updates to the game. They still plan to release DLCs for the game. So it's okay. It just depends on how you are with the repetitiveness. If you're okay with going through each and every sector, doing like 20 of the same things, with the only thing actually being story-driven is the main missions, then it may be worth it. But as for a Black Friday deal, I mean, you could jump on it. It's not like it's a horrible game. It's just I'm not a big fan of like the repetitiveness.
Yeah. I understand. And that's definitely one of the biggest criticisms on the game that I've heard. And you know, I feel like for $19, I may take a stab at it and see if I get into it. And if not, I'll just trade it in. But like, you know, some people would put that $19 elsewhere and would be rightfully doing so if they can't deal with all that repetition for sure. But Boogie said something in the YouTube chat about a deal. Amazon's gonna have they do have it currently. It's a Black Friday deal, but they already have it. The Samsung MU8000, which is one of the new series 55-inch 4K TVs for $895. That's actually a pretty good deal. I think that's like $400 off of retail.
Wow, that's good.
Something like that.
Yeah,
that's
that is a huge deal.
It's a pretty good deal. I mean, TV deals, there's a lot of them. You got to make sure you know what you're looking at, though. Like, don't just go in and buy. Like, there's a deal at Best Buy for a Sharp 50-inch TV, a 4K Sharp brand, 50-inch for like $180. And of course, on the surface, that looks incredible to get a 4K TV, but that TV is terrible. I've seen that a million times. That's an awful TV. I would not pay that money for it. I mean, I guess this is kind of like an incomplete section because not all the PlayStation ones haven't come out yet, surprisingly. So, but those are kind of like the best deals I think we found. If you guys have any other deals that you guys are looking at, definitely hit us up on Twitter or leave a comment below. Of course, we'd love to hear what you guys are checking out for deals. I mean, there are a ton of gaming deals. It's just I have a lot of the games already, so it's kind of like, okay, I can't really get those, you know. But Sasson, I know you're gonna be getting Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy 2-pack on the Xbox One for $20.
Oh, what? Hey,
Actually,
look, don't knock those games.
I'm getting it. I'm not knocking that shit. I'm getting that.
It's funny. I was looking at that right now.
Dude, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. So
I have Monopoly Plus, and I still play it from time to time with my friends. Like,
awesome, dude.
I'm almost willing to upgrade and get that one edition where you can make your own boards.
Oh yeah,
I think it can do some damage.
Oh yeah, dude, those games are awesome. The board games, the party game, like Wheel of Fortune and Clowns. Did you see that Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy? I'm pretty sure is made by the same people that made Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, speaking of Trivial Pursuit, man, we got to do like a stream of that again.
We got to get on that. We got to get on that. You're right. You're absolutely
That
right.
was a lot of fun because Assassin was great at that game.
You were going to say it's terrible. Stop lying. You're good at the game.
No. I think you're one of the best players I've ever seen at that game.
Okay, yeah. You're in sarcasm.
Oh man. Well, that's that's Black Friday in a nutshell. I mean, if you guys have, I haven't seen like TV deals that have like blown my like socks off at all. But usually I talk about TV deals, but I haven't seen anything too great. I would stick to, if I were you guys, I would stick to games and movies, and that's pretty much it.
Inferno, Worms, Weapons of Mass Destruction, $9.90 right now. We should get that and play that together.
There you go. Is that the newest one?
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Oh shit! Yeah, we should definitely get that. Absolutely. All right. So other than that, that is the end of the podcast. We went about an hour and a half here tonight, so I think that's a good time to call it quits. Reezy, we really appreciate you coming on, man. You did pretty well. So if you want to shout out anything of yours, go ahead and do so now.
I haven't started anything soon, but I know I plan to be. New YouTube channel look will be coming soon. If you guys ever just want to check it out, it's Reezy Lounge Gaming. For the most part, my Mixer and my Twitter are the Reezy Lounge. Pretty easy to spell. It's all there, I believe, in the links and stuff. So, but yeah, we plan to do podcasts, more editing. I'm a very, very bad editor, but we also plan to do stuff like if you're familiar with Rocket Jump or trying to remember College Humor, just little skits and sketches that they do.
Oh, nice.
I definitely plan on hopping on that. Of course, I need some more people to do it with, but heck, there isn't not a whole lot you can't do with two people, so we can make something work.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. But yeah, that's cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to have you on. And judging by your performance on this podcast, we'd absolutely love to have you on again. So
heck yeah, man. Thanks.
Went really well. Sasson and Clowns, what are you guys up to this week after the show? Anything?
Well, you already know.
Yeah, I know.
Battlefront podcast is over. Xbox One X out.
Yeah, I got my Xbox on already. I'm just like, all right, Battlefront, let's go. Come on.
There you go. There you go. Clowns.
If if you guys don't know Assassin, man, like with Assassin, all week he'll be really sad, gaming sad, terrible, depressed, so mad, and then Battlefront comes out and he's like a little kid at Toys R Us with hands in the air with lollipops running around down each aisle because of Battlefront 2.
Probably.
Game of the year.
I'm just going to be scoping out the Black Friday sales and just picking stuff off because it seems like physical this Black Friday is better than digital.
Yeah, dude, physical is really dominating. Like, it sucks to have physical games and not have that convenience, but price is right, man. Gotta grab them when they're good, when the price is good. You know what I mean? So, all right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys not next week because it's the holiday, but look out for some tweets. Maybe we'll do something fun. Who knows? But yeah, check out all of our links above and below, of course. If you want to, check out Twitter, you're not following us. That's probably where the most active. So 4GwQPodcast is our Twitter handle. And always, of course, check out our website. You'll find everything that is 4GuysWithQuarters is on our website. So it's just www.4GuysWithQuarters.com.
You guys got merch yet?
We need to get merch, bro. We need to get.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the t-shirts, man. I'd rock that every day.
All right, dude. We'll get you a t-shirt, bro. We'll get you a t-shirt. But all right. Peace out. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Happy Thanksgiving. Later.
Absolutely. Lots of turkeys.
Gobble gobble, right, Assassin?
I'm having ham, actually, on Thursday.
Okay, this is where we end the podcast.
That's the end.